What's up, guys? I got a little bit of a mess going on my table right now, but it's because I'm getting ready to show y'all how to create a water filter. But first, let's talk. Alright, I want to give a shout out to this guy here from El Paso who's doing this YouTube channel. It's called Off Grid Desert Homesteading. Check it out. He's only got 3 things out, but he puts out some good information, and he's going to continue to do these videos as he gets further along. But he puts out a lot of great information, so check him out. Off Grid Desert Homesteading is the name of the channel. Alright, y'all. The great financial reset is coming. They're pushing Bitcoin, which I think is the start of the one world currency. They have been devaluing the dollar, which was the closest thing to a sustainable one world currency, for a long time now. Pushing for a global currency. They want to devalue all the monetary systems in the world so they can bring us all together under one currency. And it looks like, in my opinion, this Bitcoin movement, this trend that started, is going to be the start of that. At least the start, if not the whole thing. I don't think it'll be the whole thing. Like, I think it will become the one world currency, and then eventually you'll have to get the digital imprint in your hand or your forehead or something to be able to use the Bitcoin. As it says in the Bible, you know, it says that they're going to force the mark of the beast on us and whatnot. But anyways, moving on. Bitcoin is going to make big tech richer and give them more power and influence. I don't believe we have a chance to stop this trend. It was prophesied, and everything God said must come to pass. The best thing to do is stock up on non-perishables. If you're able to start buying land and figure out a way to separate, start buying land and figure out a way to separate from the power grid. Start thinking about sustainable livestock. A water source. Water is the most important thing when you decide, if you decide to homestead and you believe that that's best for you and your family and your survival of the future, then yeah, water is going to be your most important asset. It will be needed by you as well as the livestock that you choose to purchase and use as a sustainable food source. Water power is also very possible, and I will touch on this and how to harness the power of water in a later episode. Today, I want to teach you how to make a homemade water filter. This is a skill that could save yours as well as others around you. So first, you find where'd I put my jar? Hang on. Oh, right here it is. All right. You find you something to catch the water in. Okay, so I have my jar here. Next, you need something to filter the water through. I chose an empty plastic water bottle. Now look, you want to put a hole in the top of it here. A small hole with the tip of a nail. Just the tip of a nail. Alright? And once you do that, you want to cut this bottom part off. Just look, that much of it. Okay, the last line, you want to cut around that line. Okay? As evenly as possible. Once you do that, you need a coffee filter. Look, my coffee filter came from a K-Cup because that's the only kind of coffee that I have, so I don't have regular filters. But a regular filter would fit in here good, but because of mine, I have to tuck a piece of it into the cap and then screw it on so that it'll hold it into place. Oh, I gotta do it on 2 sides though, I forgot. Or, I mean, a piece of tape would work just fine, you know, something to hold it into place, you know. If it's a large coffee filter, it'll work better because you won't have to worry about. But once you have it secured, like I do here now, once you have it secured, you just stick it into your catcher and leave it there. Now you're going to need 3 more things. You're going to need some activated charcoal. Now look, if it's large chunks of charcoal, you want to crush it up with a hammer. Put it in a bag, you take a hammer to it and crush it up. You don't want any of the pieces to be larger than a pea. Okay, so I mean, you want it about that big. And look, you're going to fill the first third of the bottle with charcoal. So I already have all my activated charcoal pre-crushed. And I'm gonna start to put the charcoal in there. And that should be enough. You see it right there, okay? About that much. Next, you're gonna use your sand, okay? Now look, I wanted to make sure my sand was nice and clean, so I took a strainer, a pasta strainer, and I put all my sand into there and I mashed it around until I got enough to fall through to use. And then you just want to fill the middle of the bottle up with the sand. Okay, so you're going to start to gently get the sand in there. Okay. You're going to dump all the sand in there. About to there. That should be about right. And you want to level it out a little bit. Alright, smooth it out some. Okay. Now, like I said, I cleaned my sand up real nice. So that, I'm dripping water everywhere. So that I didn't have all this other trash and stuff in it. Which is not going to matter. It's all going to be filtered through that coffee filter anyways. And through the it's all going to get filtered through all of that, okay? The last step will be to fill it up with the gravel, okay? And I also was selective with my gravel. I cleaned my gravel off as well. You can do this with your natural water source as well. You know, you can clean this gravel off with the natural water source to get all the trash, the grass and trash and everything else out of there. Okay, so that's your homemade water filter. I'm gonna show you how it works. I'm gonna go put some water in it, and we can all watch it for a minute, so that y'all see that it actually works. Now, I'm just using tap water because it's what I got available here with me right now. I need to do dishes. I can't get this down in there low enough. There we go. So now I got some water in there, and you should start to see it drip through the bottom, through the filter here pretty shortly. Now this takes some time, guys. Like, this is like more like an overnight process. Now you're gonna see the water's gonna come out, and it's gonna look dirty because it's running through that stuff, but it'll still be drinkable because it's been filtered through. The charcoal is the most important. That's the active ingredient in this filter. The charcoal is what really cleans the water, okay? Now, granted, this is tap water. It's already clean. But this still helps to filter it anyways. Now, granted, this water is going to taste like crap, which El Paso water tastes like crap anyways. But this water is going to taste like crap. But it's clean. It's drinkable. And it could save your life in a survival situation. As you see, it's slowly, look, and that's what the water is going to look like. Now look, if you're doing this with non-potable aqua, or if you're doing this with non-clean water, like water from a natural source, I suggest boiling it first before filtering it. Boil it and then filter it, and that will kill all the microbes and stuff. The boiling procedure will kill all the microbes in it. Okay? Then once you filter it, it gets all the other impurities out. So that's how you do it, guys. I mean, that could save your life. Okay? That could very well save your life. It don't look very good. Don't look like something you'd want to drink, but it's drinkable. And it won't make you sick, and it won't kill you. It'll keep you alive. So now that I've done that for you guys, I hope y'all learned something. Hopefully I can get more subscriptions on this channel and keep this thing going. I need y'all to start sharing and liking the videos so I can get the ratings up and I can keep this going. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to continue putting these videos out there because YouTube already is trying to censor me and everything. They've sent me messages about some of my videos and threatening to take them down and stuff like that. because of my beliefs. But the thing is, if I get enough likes, they can't do it. So y'all need to start sharing these videos and getting the word out there. Y'all, we need to be able to sustain ourselves. Because when this one world currency comes and the mark of the beast and they start pushing this mark of the beast eventually, like, because that's what's going to happen next. All right. First off, a bunch of us are going to be broke and not able to afford to survive in this new system they're going to implement, because they're redistributing the wealth. A lot of businesses, small businesses, are going to end up closing if we stay on the same path that we're on right now. They can't sustain themselves, especially with this new $15 minimum wage. Like, nobody's taking into account what that does to the businesses and the jobs here. Okay? And that's the problem. Like, look, a lot of these agendas that some of these politicians are pushing, like $15 an hour minimum wage and free health care and all this other stuff, you got to think about, where does that money come from to pay for these things? Okay? First off, it tears business. And look, that's what socialism is, guys. It's a tearing down of society and leveling it out to a place where the elite can get richer and rake in our money and sustain their lifestyle, while we are all subject to one endless lifestyle amongst all of us. You know, if you look, there's videos of Cuba about how it really is. Don't believe the Cuban brochures, okay? Do not believe the brochures about Cuba. You need to really investigate and see what socialism is, okay? There's people standing in line for hours, okay, for the same groceries that the dude in front of them has, the dude in front of them has, the dude in front of him has. Because there is no such thing as variety or selection when it comes to socialism. They tell you what to consume, and you consume it. They tell you what you're allowed to do, and you do it. They tell you what you're not allowed to do, and if you do it, you're a criminal. You can get locked up in a camp somewhere, or even shot to death. You know, that's what happens in a lot of these places, man. They treat their citizens like crap. Okay, look at China. They got slave labor over there still. They got the 2-child policy law and the first child has to be a boy, and they're forcing abortions on these women, dragging them in, kicking and screaming, forcing them to abort their children. Okay. Total dictatorship over there right now, especially since Emperor or President Xi, or however you say his name, Chai, I think is how you say it, Xi. He ended term limits over there and has now made himself an emperor. Okay, the Chinese Communist Party is in control again over there, and they have completely did away with the democratic structure of their government. Well, not completely, but I mean, they're on the verge of it being completely gone. We need to start thinking about, like, chickens. Chickens is one of the best sustainable livestock you can get. If you have no experience in agriculture or anything like that, that's where I would start, is with chickens. Anyways, you know, that's really all I got to say today. Everybody stay safe. Hopefully I taught y'all something with this filter, and who knows, you might need it one day. You might need this skill, so save this video or whatever. Now you know how to make your own so that you can filter water. Look, I'm not going to drink it because I got actual bottled water in my house. I'll take a sip of it so y'all know, okay? See? Nothing wrong with it. Now, granted, it was tap water and it ran through all that. That's the only reason it has that color. But, I mean, you'll also see in the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, there'll be a little bit of sand in there as well. But it's clean at that point. The charcoal done cleaned it. And like I said, I strained my sand through a strainer to get all the trash out, to make sure it was nothing but pure sand. And that helps a lot. That goes a long way. I'm going to drink my coffee now. I taste sand. But I just want everybody to be safe. I want y'all to think about y'all's family safety as well as the future of your family, because that's the main important thing, or the most important thing is our children. They're the future of this country. Now, granted, this country might not have much of a future left considering everything that's going on. It's very biblical right now, y'all. Whether you see it or not yet, you're going to see it eventually. And if you don't see it, then you're on the wrong side. If you don't see it eventually, you're on the wrong side. The time is coming that, just look at how the media is pressing this domestic terrorist theory on Trump supporters and patriots. They've been pushing this for days now. Ever since the 20th, they've been talking about calling us domestic terrorists. And they're not just talking about the few hundred people that went into the Capitol. They're saying all Trump supporters are domestic terrorists. This is their narrative right now. And it's crazy to see that they're trying to turn Americans on Americans. And I really believe that they're looking to push a civil war so that they can claim social unrest. And they're not going to trust our military. I mean, they've already made comments about how 90% of the military is white male and only 20% of white males voted, or 90% of the military is males and only 20% of white males voted for Biden. Why does that matter? Why does it matter who your soldiers voted for? That's my biggest question to them. Are they trying to politicize the Army? Or do they think maybe they think the Army's already politicized? But listen, they have freedom of choice. They can choose to vote for whoever they choose or want. That is what freedom means, okay? You can't just take that right away, or you can't just label them, oh, they're terrorists because they wanted to vote for the guy that we don't want in office. They're elites. Who cares who they want in office? They got enough power as it is. They got enough money, enough power. They can't just decide that half of the country are domestic terrorists because they wanted to vote for this guy who better represented the people. Okay? That's all I got to say, guys. God bless. Have a beautiful day.